I feel like shit.
Monday, happy days. Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of those happy days.
The weekend comes, my cycle hot.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet,
Just knock it off, you scumfuckhead.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those.
Happy days.
It's just one of those days.
The weekend comes, my cycle runs. Ready to make
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with a blood stain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better shoot, cause I'm fucking up your program. And you go stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all about
happy days.
It's just one of those,
Happy days.
it's just one of those
Happy
days.
The weekend comes, my cycle runs. Ready to make
Feel like shit. My suggestion is distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the farm.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll start playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I hope you know I got a chainsaw, boy. A chainsaw, boy. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
What we got here is a case of mistaken identity, you know?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 20 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. Almost messed up the entrance there, so do excuse me for that. How is everyone doing this fine Thursday evening? Is it me, or is it getting a little bit colder now since we just got into August? I don't know if anyone down in England or even in Wales or Northern Ireland might be experiencing that as well, but up here in Scotland, for some odd reason, there have been a couple of days where it was pretty warm, but ever since it gets to maybe late at night, maybe 7, 8-ish, around about that time, it gets pretty colder. But I don't know, maybe if that's just me, but hey ho, what can you do? How is everyone doing? As I said, this fine Thursday evening. In fact, hell, how was everyone's Indigenous Peoples Day this past Monday? I know I've seen so many posts, so many people celebrating it, making posts online through Twitter, Gab, Telegram, so on and so forth. Hell, I even seen other people posting through the regional groups within PA, showcasing their work all across the country. And it's again, I just have to say, like, it was absolutely fantastic seeing everyone doing all the work. Of course, I could say that, in my opinion, not being biased or anything like that, but the best being PA Scotland. But that's beside the point. But no, in all seriousness, I've seen other regional groups like West Midlands and Southeast did tremendous work for Indigenous Peoples Day. Even people who are part of the groups but would normally upload their stuff individually have also been extremely well done, including I think there was like a bottles, like with White Lives Matter within the bottles, regarding to that. But honestly, it's actually very well done. Everyone who participated, whether it was with groups, with people, or part of the regional groups, or even just individually, everyone should be proud of themselves for celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day, as it is very important to spread the word that white lives do in fact matter. So hopefully everyone enjoyed their day, and we'll definitely see who's going to win the cup this year for the regional groups. We'll just need to wait and see. Again, hopefully PA Scotland will win this year. I'm sure they won last year, but you never know. Maybe another group might be winning this year. We'll definitely see. But whoever wins this year, I will definitely congratulate them. Of course, everyone did their part, and everyone did a tremendous work for this year's Indigenous Peoples Day. So again, everyone should be proud of themselves. Just want to give a bit of an update in regards to the show of Mood of the Nation. Now, don't worry, that I'm not one to come off and saying like this will be the last episode or anything like that at all. That's far from it. I know this is the 20th episode so far, which even then I can't actually believe we're 20 episodes in. That's crazy. But what I want to say is I'm going to be doing a couple more episodes throughout the coming weeks. 1 or 2 weeks, and then up to maybe episode 23 or episode 24. I'm not entirely too sure. But after either of those 2 episodes, I've decided I'm going to take just a small break. It won't be long or anything like that. I would say maybe like a week to a week and a half. The reason for it being is mainly because of, 2 reasons. It's because, in my opinion, it does get a bit too much of focusing on like work outside of YouTube and all of that, while also trying to, on a weekly basis, trying to get articles and such, here and there for future episodes and all of that. So, again, I don't want to come off like making excuses or anything like that at all. I just decided I want to take like a short break from doing Mood of the Nation. Again, hopefully it might be done maybe like a week or a week and a half. I'll definitely check my calendar and see from there when episodes 23 or 24 might be airing for the coming weeks. Again, just to give you guys a bit of an update with that, because I think I deserve a little bit of a break from doing the show. But again, we'll definitely see from there. So, was there anything else I wanted to say? Usually with a show, I have a small drink just so that my throat doesn't get all parched or anything like that. Well, it's not water I'm drinking. Instead, for the first time, I've decided to buy myself a packet of Grandma Taller's tea, which of course is exactly what I'm drinking just now. And it's my second or third cup drinking Granny Taller's tea so far. And honestly, it's actually really good. I'm not usually like a tea drinking person. I mean, I'll have a cup of tea here and there, but in terms of Grandma Taller's tea, I would definitely say this would be the brand of tea I will be drinking from now on. So, not going to be drinking anything like Yorkshire tea or anything like that at all, because as we all know, those tea companies support slave labor from third world countries. But that's beside the point. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, which I doubt that, I'm sure everyone in the chat has bought a packet already. I would definitely recommend Grandma Taller's tea, and just drink away. And there you go. See, there's 18 people watching the show already, which is really good. Hopefully more people will be coming along, but again, we'll definitely see from there. But I appreciate the people in the show or in the chat just now. And then I'll address you guys in a moment, and then we'll get into the first topic. I was kind of wanting to talk about this first topic towards the end of the show, but I figured, you know what, it's important, so I might as well just bring it up as the first topic, because it's something that came to my attention just before the show started. But before I do that, let me have a check and see who's in the chat so far. So we have Budgie Burger, as usual. How you doing? Music video, Rice Boy Summer by Irrational Time, satire Chinese rap. I can have a check that out later on, see from there. Thank you very much, Budgie. Gammon Sandwich, as per usual. Thank you for watching the show. At work, we'll stick around as long as possible. Even lads and lassies, thumbs up. Well, thumbs up to you too, Gammon. Thank you very much for watching the show. Another regular face, Amanda Lee, even to you too. Thank you for watching the show. Dr. Jimmy, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too, Dr. Jimmy. Thank you for watching the show. Another familiar face, Scott's Armor. How you doing, sir? Thank you for watching the show. What Tyler 1381. Again, thank you very much for watching the show. Rory Herbert. Good evening, folks. Hail to the chief. Well, thank you very much, Rory. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching the show. Aye, of course, with 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up to you too, sir. Thank you very much. Or Lassie, I'm not entirely too sure. You never know, so. Hi, Tower 005. Hi, guys, Moodman or Moodman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching the show. Hi, Tower. Really appreciate that. Ray Surrealist, English for the English. That is definitely true. I don't think I've seen you before, Ray. If you're new to the show, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Even hit the like button if you can. I really would appreciate that. Henry Hill, evening people, even to you too, Henry. Jojo Gizmo, good evening, lads and lassies. Even to you too, Jojo. Thank you for watching the show. Another familiar face, Aunt Sally. Yo, Aunt Sally. Thank you for watching the show. Really appreciate that. RW, even to you too. Joel Citizen, it's nice to have you back. It's been a while, but again, it's nice to see you coming back to the show and watching it, of course. Oi to you too. Let me see. Streaky Bacon, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Please hit that like button. Cheers. Thank you very much for shouting that out, Joel Citizen. I really appreciate that. Sensum Communum, hello, sir. Thank you for watching the show. I really appreciate that. And also, for those who shared the stream as well, such as Sensum, Scott's Armor, I do know that Patriarch Alternative, the main channel, and also the Scottish Tam even shared it as well. Even PA Wales also shared it. Again, thank you very much for that. Really do appreciate that. Who else is in the chat, just to make sure, because I don't want to leave anyone out. Unless, is that meant to be everyone there? Hold on one second. There's a question from Amanda Lee. 1 second. Chief Moody, same here. Love a stream and a cup of tea. Earl Grey, also good and the coffee. That's fair enough. Don't think I've ever tried Earl. What was it? Sorry, you said. Let me see. Earl Grey. I don't think I've ever tried that before, but you know, I could give it a try sometime. Joel Citizen, that's good for you to do that. Grammatalorus, the link for Grammatalorus tea. So again, if you haven't bought Grammatalorus before, there you go. There's a website for it. To click on that and just have a look and see what's available. And there you go. So, Dr. Jimmy, Chief Moody is a cracking brew. It really is. It's actually a really good form of tea, especially if you're just coming back from work or even just a day out. If you want to just chill out, have a drink of tea, then there you go. It's there and it's perfect for that. So awesome. Very awesome, in fact. Rory Herbert, Chief Moody is an English breakfast or Earl Grey tea. I say, to be honest, I would say English breakfast, to be honest, because even when I have an English breakfast or even just a fry up, as I normally call it up here, because I'm Scottish, I usually just have tea normal with that. That is if I do have like a fry up or anything like that at all. So which again is still really good. I think that's about it for now in terms of the chat. 20 likes and rising. Well, there you go. Thank you for the likes. Please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I would appreciate that. So let's see. Chief Moody, spending less time online, matey, hence the absence. That's totally fair enough. I can definitely understand that some people not want to spend time on the internet a lot for whatever reason may be with that. So that you'll completely understand where you're coming from with that. So if you want to take a break, again, there's no problem with that whatsoever. Ray Surrealist, Chief Moody, been watching for a long time, subscribed and build, but don't often comment. Again, that's totally fine. As I said, I do appreciate you being here anyway. So again, thank you very much for your support. Another familiar face, Ragnar Ironspear. Even folks, even to you too, Ragnar. Thank you for watching the show. Right then, I think that's all up to date with the chat. Again, thank you very much for watching the show. I've got quite a few articles to talk about today. What I will do is I might as well just get into this topic right now. I also have an article that does tie into this petition that just came to my attention before the show started. I'm pretty sure you all have seen this petition already because it's been shared across all of the Telegram channels from PA, like every group. You know, I even recently I've seen people like James Goddard even shared it, which is actually really cool to see. James Goddard is back with PA. That's really cool to see. So he shared it. I know Mark Collette shared it as well. I'm pretty sure Laura Taylor shared the petition as well. Just real quick, Doc Skinned, thank you very much for watching the show. I really do appreciate that. So what I'll do is let me just share the screen real quick, and then I'll get to this article right here. So there we go. From 38 Degrees, the website, of course, this campaign was created by Kenny Smith. To Glasgow City Council, name the new Glasgow M8 bridge in honour of Chris Donald, which, let me have a look here and see just now. So, as it says here, a campaign has been launched to name the new Glasgow M8 bridge after a murdered asylum seeker to highlight the fight against racism in the city. But the tragic death of, oh, I guess there must be like a typo there. Oh dear. Actually, what I will do is let me just bring up the article first of all, because like I said, the article itself does tie into the overall petition itself. So, in long story short, I'm just going to bring up the article because from the Daily Record, of course, of all our articles. Long story short, there was a murder that happened in Glasgow with an asylum seeker. Asylum seeker was involved in a brutal knife attack, and of course, he was murdered. I'm assuming that's the guy there, Persat Dag. I guess that's the name of the victim. So, of course, bed to name New Glasgow Bridge after asylum seeker murdered in brutal knife attack. The Sighthill Bridge is currently being installed over the top of the M8 and will connect the area to the city centre. Now, first things first, I really want to understand why. I'm assuming it's the Scottish government wanting to name this new bridge, the new Glasgow Bridge, after some asylum seeker who was never born in this country, nor would they probably support this country in any way, shape, or form. They're probably coming here just to gain our benefit system or anything like that. So what I will do is I'll just read the article just real quick, and then we'll see. I'll get back to the petition itself. A campaign has been launched to name a new Glasgow bridge after an asylum seeker who was brutally murdered in the city 20 years ago. The Sighthill Bridge is currently being installed over the top of the M8 and will connect the area to the city centre. Children and residents in the area have been asked to name the new structure, which is due to be opened in early 2022. When opened, it will mark over 20 years since tragic Kurdish asylum seeker Persat Dag was callously knifed to death. The 25-year-old was murdered on August 5th, 2001, so this was literally 20 years ago. Of course, as it says in the article, after being chased from the old Sighthill Bridge into a nearby part where he was fatally stabbed. So, I don't know if I'm looking too deep into it already, not even halfway through the article so far, but I'm kind of curious who the perpetrators would be with this attack. Maybe I might mention in the article, but of course I doubt it. Let's see. This incident led to the widespread protests across Glasgow and Scotland. As racial tensions became inflamed and protesters campaigned for better treatment of asylum seekers, Glasgow City Council introduced new measures to support refugees, including a drop-in centre, and then First Minister Henry McLeish pledged £700,000 to help with integration projects. Prince Charles and William even paid a visit to Sighthill to talk to the local community. Scott Burrell, 26, was arrested for Fursat's murder and sentenced to life imprisonment following a trial in December of 2001. The jury was told Fursat's murder was no longer being treated as a racial killing. So I'm assuming, so this is Scott Burrell, the guy who murdered Fursat Dad. Is it Dad or Dag? Sorry, but Dag. Okay, that's how we pronounce it. My apologies. Obviously, what this Scott did to the asylum seeker, of course, was absolutely awful. The fact that I kind of find it interesting with this this sentence here, no longer being treated as a racial killing. I wouldn't be surprised if this were to happen today. It would have been a huge news story that would occur. This would be looked at as a racial killing. I would definitely imagine that happening, especially in today's current climate just now. Now, anti-racism campaigners are calling on the council to pay tribute to asylum seekers across the city by naming it Fursat. Well, there you go. A petition has been launched by campaigner Fatima, I'm going to butcher this name, Yugan, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, at age 50, who believes the naming of the bridge would be a fitting tribute to him and a local community who rose up against racism. Again, what was wrong of calling it like Chris Donald? Look, obviously, what I'm saying is this murder that happened to Fursat Dag obviously was horrible. Again, I don't understand why the Glasgow City Council are deciding to name this new bridge after an asylum seeker who was not born in this country, and not naming it after Chris Donald, who was a Scottish citizen. Well, he was born and raised in Scotland, who was, you could even say he was murdered in a brutal racial attack. But for some odd reason, we just want to sweep that under the rug because, this idea of minorities killing whites, oh no, that's not newsworthy, so let's just, as I said, sweep under the rug. She told the Record, this is a beautiful new bridge being built in Sighthill to connect the community to the city, and we think that this is an opportunity for the council to recognise what happened in Sighthill 20 years ago, virtually to the date, August 5th, where a young Kurdish asylum seeker, Fursat Dag, was accosted and then murdered near the bridge. Another continuing quote, we would like the new bridge named after him. It is important for a number of reasons. We need to start acknowledging racism exists, and if the Black Lives Matter movement has taught us anything, it's to start making amends and recognizing that racism is endemic in our society. This is an opportunity for us to actually, sorry, I need to address that real quick. Right, okay, so recognizing that racism is endemic in our society, right? Where was the outrage with what happened to Chris Donald? Oh, sorry, my bad. It was a bunch of a bunch of brown men killing a white boy, and despite the fact that they killed him because he was white. No, that's not bad enough. We can't name the bridge after a Scottish white native. How silly of you to think that. Hold on one sec. Let me just take a quick sip of Grandma Teller's tea. One sec. Damn, it's getting cold. Still tastes good even if it's cold, but anyway. This is an opportunity for us to stand against it, particularly at the moment with the Tories' hostile environment and their attacks on migrants and refugees. Oh, Jesus, here we go. Of course, I'm not a fan of the Tory government by any means of the imagination, but again, this whole ridiculous idea of the Tories are treating immigrants and asylum seekers horribly. Ew, shut up. We think it's really important to honor this man who did nothing but escape violence in his own country to build a new life here. And when he thought he'd get safety, he lost his life. That particular moment, it really shook up Glasgow in terms of what most people understood about the conditions that asylum seekers were living in when they were dispersed to places like Glasgow, living in incredible poverty with very little support. See, that's always something that I've always thought about these kinds of events, right? So that moment there where she said how this shook up like the entirety of Glasgow, I wonder if she's actually being serious about that, if it's maybe like literally everyone from Glasgow who was completely shook up about this, or was it people of her of her ethnicity, people on her side would be in shock about this, but trying to make it out as if like the whole of Glasgow was shocked about this, because it's something like that. I've always thought about that as if like, well, was it a really shocking matter, or like was everyone in the city really shook about this, or was it a certain group of people? Now, look, when I say that, I'm not trying to denigrate the death here. Obviously, what happened to Mr. Dag obviously was horrible. The fact still remains that I personally believe, and I'm sure a lot of people in the chat will agree with me saying this, I believe the new bridge should be named after Chris Donald, especially that he is more of a native Scot than, again, Fursat Dag, who was an asylum seeker. So let me see where I was just now with that. Oh yeah, here we go. This is unfortunately still happening nowadays. The petition has currently garnered more than 50 signatures, with the likes of lawyer and activist Amir Anwar. Of course, he would be involved in that, with the signing of the petition and such. Among those to have thrown their weight behind it, Fatima is an immigrant herself, coming to Glasgow from Turkey about 23 years ago. She has been an avid anti-racism campaigner since then. Of course she would be. And there's the image of the new bridge of what's going to be looking, or an artist's impression of the new Sighthill Bridge. So yeah, it looks pretty decent. Again, I think a bridge like that, if it's going to, obviously there's going to be some changes here and there, but I think a bridge like this, again, I would definitely say that it should be named after Chris Donald, either called the Chris Donald Bridge or even just simply the Donald Bridge. as a way of paying tribute to Chris Donald because of what happened to him back in 2003 or 2004. Let me just continue on with this real quick. She is the manager of Govan Hills Baths and was involved in the successful campaign to save them from closure when the council threatened to close them. It would be a missed opportunity for the local authority if they did not consider naming the Sighthill Bridge after First Sat Dag, Fatima claimed. She said, the campaign is gaining traction. It's a wonderful opportunity to say not in our name. The Black Lives Matter movement is important. Of course it would be. It wasn't just a one-off thing. We need to keep this fight continuing for a long time, but wouldn't it be wonderful to say that we actually value immigrants by naming a bridge after them? Right. I'm so sick and tired of this whole, we need to care about the immigrants. We need to care for them. Why? They come into this country like not wanting to be. Let me just start again. Sorry. They come to this country not speaking a lick of English. They don't really want to integrate into our society or our culture for that matter. And even then, it's like, of course, not all of them, but like a good majority of these people who come here, we give them everything on the silver platter, but it's like it's never enough with these people. Well, there was one news story I remember. I can't remember if it happened in Glasgow or not Glasgow, but Scotland or even down in England, where you have this like a asylum seeker or like this immigrant or refugee going to either Scotland or England. Again, I'm not entirely sure which major city this was in. They were given like this small bedroom house or flat. It used to be like an old like container you would see in like working areas from like factories and whatnot outside of like the main like building kind of thing. But it was a container that was redecorated or like redone, repurposed as like a small bedroom like house or flat type of thing. It was only like a temporary accommodation for people to live in when coming to this country, and all she did was just complain and bitching and just the most unappreciated, like most entitled douchebag I've ever seen in my life. They come to this country for whatever reason may be, and it's like we give them all these like services just to help them out, and it's like it's never enough. These people are so ungrateful, and it's like, well, why even bother coming to this country anyway? Oh, that's right, because you want to benefit from this country by our benefit system, by like, everything to do with the UK for that matter. You just want to take advantage of all the stuff given to you, basically. Couldn't really stand that, obviously, of course. We need to keep this. Oh, I've read that already. Sorry, 1 second. We've got fantastic support at the moment. We will be petitioning Glasgow City Council, and those discussions have already started. Of course, there's a lot of suggestions for what the bridge might be called, but I think we've got enough buildings and statues named after rich people on royal. Fuck off! Oh my. Of course, yeah. Oh, we can't exactly call this building based off of a rich person or royalty. Like, shut up. Honestly, get fucked with that. Like, most of the buildings or any historical locations you see in this country are named after historical figures. The Wallace Monument, for example, there's the the Stirling Bridge for that matter. I'm trying like Calendar House. I'm trying to think like names on the top of my head. Edinburgh Castle. Which is all these places that are named after historical figures that actually built this country. But no, there's too much of that. It's about time we named this bridge after a fucking immigrant or an asylum seeker. No, like either name it after Chris Donald or honestly just don't bother with that. That's what I have to say about that. This is a time to recognize a particular moment in history. Also, sorry, just real quick. That sentence there, the statue's named after rich people and royalty. Of course, they were throwing like a jab at Scottish history or culture. Like, honestly, me, if you don't like living in Scotland, then just go back to your own ancestral homeland. That's all I have to say on that. This is a time to recognize a particular moment in history, and I wonder why the council would not want to name a bridge after this horrific murder 20 years ago that really transformed Glasgow Hold on, let me read that again. Hold on. This is the time to recognize a particular moment in history, and I wonder why the council would not want to name a bridge after that horrific murder. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so, like, obviously, is this them trying to make it all, like, political all of a sudden, where it's like, oh, why won't you name this after a horrible knife incident with an asylum seeker? Like, are you racist? Like, shut up. Like, again, I hate to keep repeating myself here, but I think it makes a lot more sense and beneficial to honor this 15-year-old child's memory is to name it after Chris Donald. Just see, I knew for a fact that there was going to be some elements of politics into the whole naming the bridge, especially with a sentence like that. Like, oh, are you racist because you don't want to name it after an asylum seeker? Like, get fucked. My apologies for the language. I know, as per usual, it's going to be some colorful language throughout the show. I mean, it's going to bound to happen. So, that really transformed Glasgow in their attitude to asylum seekers and refugees, blah, blah, blah. Lawyer and activist Amar Anwar has thrown his backing behind the campaign after he was involved in the original protest back in 2001. I wonder what he has to say about that. He told the Record it's a fantastic idea and would be a fitting memorial to him. I was involved in the original march back when he died, and 1,000 asylum seekers marched to the council headquarters to get justice for him. It was the first time a community like that came together as one and showed great spirit and fight, and this would be a tremendous way to mark that. So basically, it's a community of asylum seekers that actually came out to support for Sat Dag. Okay, I don't know if you really want to call. I mean, I technically speaking, you can call that a community, but whatever, I guess. It would represent the strength of the community at the time, the way we came together to fight injustice and racism, and would be absolutely fitting. Paul Sweeney, MSP, said Forsat Dag was tragically murdered in 2001, close by to the site of today's footbridge. 20 years on from his death, Forsat's home of Sighthill has been reconnected to the city centre with the construction of the footbridge, and I can't think of any more fitting way to honour him. Right, okay. Look, I understand that this death was horrible. Don't get me wrong in that. At the same time, I wonder if they would say the exact same thing when it comes to Chris Donald. Language of I'm just checking the chat real quick. Language of color on my phone, of course. So, resisting the lies. Hello, thank you for watching the show. Just also want to check on something just real quick. I think that should be all right. So, Mouse Cat, thank you for watching the show. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, that seems to be all right. Excellent. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So I think what I'll do is I'll just continue on a little bit further with the article because like I said, I think there's only just a small. I think we're coming towards the end of the article right here. So and then I'll pop up the petition itself real quick. But Moody, think of the ethnic food, right? Okay, I would much rather prefer the like British food than ethnic food, like kebabs and all of that. But that's just me. So, anyway, so I'll just finish off with the article. Let's see. 20 years on from his death, Forsat's home of Sighthill has been reconnected to the city centre with the construction of the footbridge, and I can't think of a more fitting way to honour him. Given the city's history of welcoming asylum seekers, it seems fitting that significant infrastructure developments of this kind are used as a tribute to those who have enriched our society. Here we go. This whole idea of, oh, immigrants build Glasgow. No, the Scottish build Glasgow. Let's get that right, okay? I'm actually getting so sick and tired of all these lefty cucks making this ridiculous argument of, well, these immigrants, these non-whites, they've built Glasgow. In fact, they've built Scotland for that matter. They help enrich our country, and they help build the country as it is today. Like, no, don't you dare try to rewrite our history, okay? The native Scottish people is what built not just Glasgow, but the native Scottish people is what built Scotland. So let's get that straight right fucking now. Again, my apologies for the language, but again, my colorful language or language of color is just going to be happening throughout the show with that. I'll try my best not to swear as much, but we'll see from there. Let me have a look and see. Not only would it be a fitting tribute, but would serve as a signal to all of those who choose to call Glasgow their home, that there are now Glaswegians and part of the fabric of our society. Council spokeswoman said all petitions submitted to the council will follow due process, with information available on the council website. If you would like to sign the petition, visit here. Well, I'm not going to click on the link because I think there's a much better petition to sign for this bridge, which, of course, as shown earlier on, is this one here. So I'm not going to read through this part here. As I mentioned, this is all to do with like what exactly they're doing with the bridge in this case. But why is this important? The murder of 15-year-old Chris Donald was horrific, and to date, there is still no major memorial for him in his home city. Naming the bridge after Chris would ensure his name is remembered and help to show that the racism he was the victim of will not be tolerated in Glasgow or anywhere else in Scotland. And then there you go. That's it. So. Let me see. So 21 of 100 signatures. I'm pretty sure there may be more people signed it. Let me just have a quick check and see this real quick. Wait a minute. Has that actually been on the screen all this time? No, it hasn't. All right. Well, let's see. I just want to see. We was Braveheart and she. Oh dear. Jacqueline, what? Hello, how you doing? Hi, just here. What's happening? Just looking through a new petition that caught my eye. Well, PA Scotland, mainly from Kenny of PA Scotland, has shared about the new M8 bridge for Glasgow. Supposedly, Jacqueline is going to be named after an asylum seeker called Forsat Dag, but there's a petition I'm going to be showing right now. It's a petition of, instead of calling it Forsat Dag Bridge or Dag Bridge or whatever, why don't we just call it the Chris Donald Bridge or Donald Bridge as a tribute and the memoriam for Chris Donald. So I'm just having a look at this petition real quick. 21 signed it. I wonder if there's any updates with the... Wow, damn. It was meant to be of... so it was 21 signed petition with that just now, right? As of this live show is going on, there has been 121 signatures already. So yeah, there you go, and many people have signed it already. So that's really good. It's pretty close to hitting 200 signatures so far. So what I will do is, if you haven't signed it already, I will post a link in the chat just now. So that way, if you haven't signed it already, even if you're not from Scotland or even from the UK for that matter, please sign the petition. It'd be really important because it's a way of, especially here in Scotland, it's important for someone like Chris Donald, who went through the most horrific murder in Scottish, one of the most horrific murders in Scottish history, as a way of paying tribute to Chris Donald. So please, if you haven't signed it already, please hit that link and sign the petition, and that way we'll have more people sign it even after this live stream goes. So there you go. Let me just get back onto this page right now. Oh, back to the main screen, I should say. Do you like dags? I will never call a dog a dag. So the George Floyd. Oh no, the George Floyd pregnancy test. Oh God, no. Yeah, I'm even also seeing some people in the chat like Orly Rigby and also Emily Jones. Those are other white people who have been victims of multiculturalism who definitely should be remembered as well. So I'm very pleased for people in the chat to bring those names up as well, because it's very important. So to remember them. Welcoming asylum seekers, do they mean having foreigners foisted on the natives? I would imagine so, Gavin. I would imagine so, because hey, currently in Scotland, it seems like this current Scottish government seem to care more about the non-native Scots than they do. So they care more about the asylum seekers or refugees, or even immigrants coming into this country, whether they're legal or illegal coming in here. They care more about those people than they care about the native Scots, which is very telling, I should say. Of course, I do remember these these government types, the Scottish politicians, if you will, want to call these immigrants new Scots, if you will. So if you're legally coming in here, or even if you're illegally coming here, it doesn't matter. You're a new Scot. You're just as Scottish than you or I. It's like no, that it doesn't work like that, mate. It does not work like that in any way, shape, or form. So. The UK has taverns, bakeries that have been around for 1,000 years, right? They dare to say immigrants built your country. Well, that's a good point, Doskin. There's definitely locations in the UK, whether it's Scotland, England, so on and so forth, that do have some very historical areas or even buildings for that matter. So and those particular areas have been around for a long, long, long time. So it definitely shows like a lot of audacity from the left, all the globalist elites, and of course the certain types of people we know who are involved in this would have the audacity to try to spread this around of we should name this new building or site after an immigrant, just to showcase that, hey, these people are going to be replacing you, the natives, just you be aware of that, that sort of idea. To be British, you first have to be white English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish, and have heritage on these islands. Just because a dog is born in a stable doesn't make it a horse. That's a very good point, Ragnar. That's very, very, very good point. Hypothetically, if the lefty had the sheikh that kicked out of him after saying immigrants built the UK, would that make them think twice? Hypothetically speaking, of course. That's a pretty interesting point, Piper Peckled. Pretty interesting point. Let me just let's see. If the lefty had the shite kicked out of him after seeing immigrants built the UK, would that make them think twice, hypothetically speaking, of course? Maybe. I'm not, of course, I know that's a hypothetical question, but maybe. I'm not entirely too sure with that. I mean, maybe, but we never know. So, what is a postcode? Is that British for zip code? Yes. I didn't think in America it would be slightly different, but yeah, because I think you're an American viewer. So basically, a postcode is the British equivalent of a zip code, basically. So yeah, like postcode is basically your location kind of thing, that sort of idea. So. Yeah, I see some people have signed it and all of that. Yep, that's all that. George Floyd pregnancy test. Is it a gun you hold to a woman's stomach, and if she cries, no, please, I'm pregnant, then she's oh no. Don't get me wrong, folks. I'm all for jokes and humor when it comes to that, but that's that's dark. That's really, really dark. Oh dear. But no, thank you, everyone. I do see some people in the chat have said that they've signed the petition, so that's really good. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate you guys doing that. And also, if you can, if you're on social media like Gab or Twitter or Telegram or anywhere like that, please share the petition as well if you still have the link for it. It'd be very beneficial if you could share this around, or even other places like Facebook for that matter. Again, if you can, it'd be beneficial just to share that that petition around, again, so that many people can sign it as humanly possible. What's this? I prefer the George Floyd chiropractor program. Oh dear. No, bruh. That again, that's really dark. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing at that, but it's just humorous. It's just for the banter. George Floyd actually held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. That's definitely true. Yeah, I know when it comes to that particular moment with the George Floyd threatening the pregnant woman, obviously that's nothing to joke about. That's a horrible thing. What George Floyd did to that woman. It's more of like again, humor is humor. Like whether it's a safe type of humor or very dark or anything like that. Obviously, the joke that was made in the chat was funny, but obviously, I can still acknowledge that what George Floyd did to that pregnant woman is a scummy thing to do. And of course, for some odd reason, he's still been praised as a saint, apparently. But what can you do? So yeah, see again, more people have signed it with that. Again, that's good, and everyone's sharing it. That's again real good. So thanks for that, folks. I really do appreciate that. I just had to refresh the stream. A last very heavily coded comment has not appeared, and we are the fascists. Yeah, I know, right? So. Let me see who else. Jacqueline, what if my mom traveled to Japan while she was pregnant and I was born there? Am I Japanese? No, no. See, like is this whole idea of like the left and of course the Sivnas always trying to push this idea of, well, if you live in this country, if you were born here, even if you're a different ethnicity, then you're British. And of course, in this context here in Britain, we all know for a fact that that's not true. Like if you're not a native, or if your family are not natives to these islands, then you're not British. You're not British. You're not Scottish. You're not English. You're not Welsh, or you're not, or not even Irish for that matter. Let's say, for example, if your family were born in Africa, but the boy or the girl who's in the mother's stomach at the time moved to Britain, and they were born in Britain, they would still be African. That's that idea when it comes to ethnicity. So when it comes to that question, Jacqueline, no, you would not be Japanese, even if you were still living in Japan as the way you are. I would imagine that the Japanese natives would not look at you as Japanese, even though you were born in the soil of Japan. But you would still not be viewed as Japanese with that. So, but we all know that for sure when it comes to ethnicity or even race for that matter. Why would you get someone who can barely build a mud hut to build the fabulous architectures in our city? Jojo, again, that's a very good question. But again, is this narrative is going on just now that these immigrants, well, these people who are not from the European continent, they've built Europe. They've always built these countries from the ground up. Never mind the fact, even to this very day, they can only build mud huts for the life of them. But we're supposed to believe that they can build all these great architectures, but they can't do the same thing in their own native homelands of the continent of Africa. It's just, we all know why that is, but again, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Really makes you think. Let me see. Isn't David Lammy Black English? No, he would be African. So he's an English citizen or a British citizen. But he's not English. He's African, of course. Like ethnicity, of course. Nationality is not ethnicity. Right, there you go. Thank you, English Rose. And also thank you for watching the stream. I do appreciate that. So if my Northern Irish parents went to Japan for work and I was born there, it doesn't make me Japanese. I'm still Northern Irish. Exactly. That was the point I was making earlier on, of course. So foreigners in Japan are called gaijin, which I believe, for my knowledge of the Japanese language, I believe gaijin is meant to be like a horrible term for non-Japanese. Again, it might be wrong on that, but that's what I've heard in the past regarding to the term gaijin, which means outsider. Being Japanese means something more than the patch of earth you're born on. Well, there you go. That's exactly that. Black people are just from 40K and lost their docs. White. David Lammy claimed he has Scottish blood, thus suggesting he acknowledges Scottish people must exist, whilst simultaneously he is saying he's English, which sounds contradictory. Law, anyone can be English, right? But Scottish blood exists. Yeah, it does sound very contradictory for that. So it's very contradictory, resisting the lie. So let's see here. I'm white, Scottish, strawberry, blonde. Don't think I'd fit in Japan. Maybe I could model for a weird anime cartoon. You never know. Like, but so there's always possibilities with that. But again, you never know, Jacqueline. So, I'm a mongrel. So there you go. Did the terms black and white come from America? I'm not entirely too sure with that, to be honest with you. I would have thought those terms came before America, but there you go. So STCs. I hate that they don't have civilizations we can F with. Like, no one wants to move to Iran and say, no, I'm Iranian. Right, exactly. Galileo's tongue, hello. Thank you for watching the stream. I really do appreciate that. Quote for, or question, or even just real quick. Wakanda Brixton forever and she Wakanda forever. That's a good one, Scott's Armor. That's a good one. It's a one-way street. Folk coming here are Scottish, insert foreign ethnicity here, but native Scots don't exist according to them. Exactly that. Right. Let me just have another quick sip of. I'm sure that this is now cold now, this tea, but we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty cold, but anyway, I can always have another cup of tea later on. So, but let's have a look at this. Hold on one sec. Even the Bible, written 2,000 years ago, states God gave each race their own lands. Right, there you go. And that is from the Bible itself. So, let me see. I'm still sharing the screen technically, so that's fine. Perfect. There's a video of a black girl saying, "No, I'm white." She's as dark as a single mother household. Jesus Christ. But she identifies as white. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pepper, but is that like an episode from Dr. Phil? Because I remember seeing something like that where there was like a black lassie on the show, went on the show and claimed that she was actually like a white person, but even saying that, she also hated black people. But I don't know if I can actually play that video on the show here because, of course, for copyright infringement for that. But let me have a look here and see just now. Even to you too, No Moy, thank you for watching the show. And also, Jill Citizen, thank you for doing that. I'm sharing the link again for the Chris Donald petition. Really do appreciate that. Excellent. What was it going to cover the first time around besides the Chris Donald petition? Because like I said, I was going to talk about that towards the end, but decided to actually talk about that towards the start of the show. Oh yeah, this is what I'm going to talk about now. This was going to be the first topic I was going to talk about, because again, this news article came to my attention just before the show started. In fact, it came to my attention when I got back in from work. Let me have a look here and see. Again, I'm pretty sure you all may have seen this already, but if you haven't, we'll just have a look at this article together, because this will be my first time looking through this as well. Well, technically, I've seen through the headline, and already it's something that I really just do not like whatsoever. It's actually a very scummy thing what this woman did. Hold on one second. From RW, Chief Moody, did you see the video of a New Scot pestering a Glasgow lassie for? I've not seen that. If you wouldn't mind, Dual Citizen, if you can't, not Dual Citizen, sorry, RW, if you have the link for that video, maybe we can actually showcase the video here. Again, if you don't mind of sharing that for the stream, because I could definitely maybe have a look at that and see from here, and also of course give a commentary on that. So the black girl hating blacks, I can say, gammon. Let me see. Most bait chat show contribute. I can't even speak tonight. Contribution ever. Let me see if I can actually see if I can get that link up. Thank you, Dual Citizen. Let me have a look and see. I'll see if I can track it down. Thank you, RW. Again, RW, if you can, that'd be much appreciated. From Peter Piper Pickled. Dr. Phil, I think so, yeah. When a white girl, Rachel Dolezal, I think I pronounced it, LARPs black, they fizz their hair, tan their skin, get contact lenses. When a black LARP says a white, she just says she is, right? Yeah, I do remember. Is that the Catch Me Outside lassie or something like that? catch me outside. How about that? So, that meme, jeez. Oh, I see. Right. We can maybe play this video for the show. Hold on a sec. Even late again. Well, no worries, English weather. Thank you for watching the show. There was a question. Well, not a question, but there was something interesting I want to read here from Kitchen Skillet. I lived and worked in Japan for 4 years, and being called a gaijin was never an insult. All right, that's fair enough. From what of course, this is me at the time when I was an anime fan. Of course, I'm not an anime fan anymore because it's completely degenerate. I was told that the term gaijin was more looked at as like a slur for foreigners who go to Japan. But anyway, I'll continue on from the comment real quick. The police regularly stopped foreigners to check if they had a gaijin card, that you're there legally. Right, that's fair enough. I've always been told it was more like an insult towards like foreigners, but if it's not, then all right, that's fair enough. If it's more of like a case of like name for an outsider of Japan, then there you go. That's fine. Thank you for the clarification, Kitchen Skill. I do appreciate that. Thank you. What was it? Oh yeah, I was going to see if I could find that video real quick, and then we'll just get on with the next article here. Let me see. I know it's approaching 7 o'clock, but like the last time, I think this past Sunday, I'm not going to go through like another break or anything like that at all. I'm just going to fly through the stream, all through 2 hours, of course. So, let me see. I'm sure it's in the history page with that video, and then we'll see from there. All right. Now, I don't know if this video here might be a bit too spicy for the stream. I don't think it will be, but we'll just have a watch of this just now and see from here. So we'll just share the screen real quick. And here we go. Let's have a watch. 44 seconds long or 43 seconds, but
the Holocaust is
we'll play through it.
big business because Germany so far has given the Jews, I think, at least $200 billion. So it's big business. And some of you are still getting $1,000 a month. And a lot of people don't know this. And then people don't realize who brought the slaves to America. They were Jewish ships.
Wait a minute. That's a whole nother thing. Let's take a break because what the issue that we're talking about today is whether or not there's a Holocaust. We'll talk about slavery and who brought them here later. We'll be back up there.
Shut it the fuck down. Well, we can't exactly call him Goyim because he's black, but just shut it down. Shut it down. They know. Oh dear. Oh my god. But no, that was pretty base. What the black gentleman said, that was pretty base. Yeah, he even said, "Wait, I'll lose my funding." Oh dear. I've also just noticed just now that the rain is just coming along. In fact, what I'll do, folks, just bear with me just a couple of seconds. I'm just going to shut my windows just so that the sound of the rain doesn't come into the show. Hold on one sec. I'll also talk throughout as well, even though I'm going to be just further away, but I'm just going to close the windows just real quick. And then see from there. Oh my god, that's really pouring it down now. Anyway, right, there we go. I'm back. There we go. So I'm back. Sorry about that. I just thought I'd close the windows because again, I don't want the sound of the rain interfering with the sound of my voice or anything like that. So, let's have a look here and see. So yeah, I do see the chat. I appreciate that video. So that's good. Tina. 5-stin, at last I'm here. Evening, Chief Moody. Hello, for that. Sorry for not turning up here on Sunday. No, that's totally fine, Tina. Like, you're here now, so I do appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for watching the show. Not one that authentic British landscape is. Oh dear. Yeah, Tola does a fab impression of Guile, right? Oh, I didn't know Tola would do an impression of that, but all right, fair enough. I don't think I've actually heard this impression before, but maybe I might catch it at some point when he live streams again. Let me see. Don't fuck with a man in overalls. He doesn't care what people think. That sounds to be true after just watching that video, so that's good. Out of interest, I've not seen anything from Josh the Lionheart for ages. Has he been? Well, I don't want to say gas, but I'm not entirely too sure. He's been pretty quiet for the past few months. Although he did upload a video ages ago about his hike through across England. So I think he is still around technically, but I think maybe he's just taking a break from YouTube or anything or even content creating for that matter and looking after his family. I'm not entirely too sure the reason for it, but I would imagine because he's got a family to look after, I'm sure maybe he's focusing on that just now and then maybe he'll come back. I don't know, but I hope he does come back. But I did see him in the chat a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So he is still technically around. I wish he would produce more content here and there, but you never know. Maybe he'll come back. But again, we just need to wait and see. So there you go. Let me see here. And also, Joe Citizen shared Josh Richard Lionheart's channel. So there you go. So if you want to follow him, there you go. By the way, sorry for being stupid, Yang, but how do you refer to people from UK? If I call you guys British, I will offend the Scots, Welsh, etc. No, that's a very valid question to ask. It just depends on who you talk to, really. So it's a vast majority of the. I'm not entirely too sure about the Welsh, but I do know when it comes to the Scottish, a vast majority of the Scottish, they wouldn't necessarily be offended necessarily, but they would say like, "Well, I'm Scottish first or a British second," or even a lot of them would say, "Oh no, I'm not British, I'm Scottish." Sort of idea. There will be some Scottish that will say that they're Scottish, but they're also British. But a vast majority of Scots were more likely to call themselves Scottish rather than British. But that's basically the way it is with that. So. Joe Citizen. Josh has a family and responsibilities and has contributed a lot already. Well, there you go, and that's definitely true. Thank you for that, Joe. I really appreciate that. So yeah, there you go. So hopefully Josh is doing well with that. So and we'll see from there. Play the transgender person versus the Vietnam vet shopkeeper video. Is that going to be something that's going to be okay to play, Budgie, just to make sure? So let me just have a look and see if I can find that just to make sure. I don't know if I've actually seen this before. Let's see. Oops. Vietnam store owner. Let me see. DC Shorts. Right. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen this video, but I've seen a screenshot of this, so I don't know if. Let me see, just to make sure. All right, so yeah, I'm sure we can maybe play that because again, I've never seen the video, so maybe we can have a look at that as well. And also just to say hello to, where is he? Or they, I should say, because I don't know their gender. So, but Timmy Bobinson, thank you for watching the show. Really appreciate that. Let me see here. From what Tyler, Chief Winnie got to be off later. Chat, stay strong. Same to yourself. What Tyler? Thank you very much for watching the show. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. From Dino K, a lot of people who live in London identify as Londoners and not British. Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually pretty interesting. I would have thought that Londoners would actually call themselves British or even English for that matter, but the fact that they call themselves Londoners and not English or British, that's actually pretty interesting. That's first for me to know that. So let's see. Right, okay. Let me have a look and see if. Posted links in case you missed them. Oh, right, okay. I'll see if I can find that as well. RW. See if we can also play that video on for the stream as well. And then we'll see if we can play that video from Budgie. Let's see from there. Let's see if I can find. Right, don't play me later. Right, that's fine. No worries. Okay. Oh dear. Right. Still, people are talking about eating the poo poo meme. That was mentioned, or it was showcased on a couple of episodes before. So, let me see. Try to see if I can find RW's link, and then we can see from there. I don't know if I can. It should be appearing in the chat. If not, I'll just play that video. That Budgie advised we can check out, and then see from there. Don't see it at all. RW. Right. RW, if you're watching, is it from Telegram or was it on Twitter or any other platforms for that matter? Because I can't seem to find your link at all for that video. Oh, hold on one second here. Is it one? Oh no, I've read that comment already. Sorry, my bad. Right, I'm sure it must be here because. Right, so of course I track it down. Okay. And also, let me see. Oh, a gaijin card in Scotland oofed that Hollywood Hulk Hamza would run down Socky Hall Street like the Ultimate Warrior, crying racism, steel chair in hand. Well, it's good that you brought up Hamza Yusuf, Scott Sarmer, because we're going to be talking about Scott. We're going to be talking about Hamza Yusuf later on. So, because it was something I was going to talk about in the previous episode, but I wasn't able to because of time problems or anything like that. But we'll see from there. Sorry, Chief in chat. That's fine. No worries. Chief Marie, I think that the I am a Londoner meme, a nod to a diversity campaign involving a vibrant young lady. I doubt too many real Londoners actually endorse that view. That's fair enough. Right. That's fair enough. Okay. Oh God. Moody, 6 million seems a little high, and 109 seems a little low by Owen Benjamin. Oh, there you go. Good man, Josh, ex-Royal Marine. Right, okay. Let me see if I can play the transgender person versus Vietnam store owner. I don't know if maybe this might be the right video for it.
You're gonna put that up.
Yeah, so from the Daily Caller, right? We'll just use this video to watch it. Hopefully,
you're gonna put that.
God damn it! Hopefully, this will not get hit by copyright or anything like that at all. I doubt it, but we'll just have a look and see. Now, I have heard about this video. I've not seen it at all. I've seen a screenshot, and that was pretty much it. Because the old guy looks a lot like Bernie Sanders, but that might be wrong on that. But we'll just have a watch of this together and then see from there. It's 3 minutes and 31 seconds long. I don't know if there's a shorter version or like a longer version, but if there is, please let me know in the chat and maybe we can watch the original. But if this is supposed to be showing the original, we'll just see from there. So 3, 2, 1, play.
You're gonna put that up and you're gonna let everybody else see it.
Well, everybody
When you're
loves it.
confronted by a trans woman, you're gonna hide it.
Everybody loves it.
No, I don't
They
think
take
so.
pictures of it. They post it. 9 out of 10 customers love it.
Yeah, you know what? It's bullshit.
No, what you're spouting is bull.
No, it's not. Trans women are women, sir. That sign is bullshit. As a trans woman, trans women are women. Your
Well,
sign
I'm
is
telling you,
bullshit.
as a man, that's bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? Nobody confronts your ass. That's the problem.
Really?
If they'd say,
Really?
what the
You want to bet?
what the is
You know
going
what I
on?
have
Do you know how many
to
people you've embarrassed at
Oh,
City
wow.
Hall?
Me, an
They have to-
embarrassment to City
they
Hall,
have to
really.
tolerate
You're an
that
embarrassment
shit.
to the city, sir. You are an embarrassment to this city.
I am a
And I'm
pillar
gonna
in
make
the
sure that
city.
everybody knows.
I'm a pillar in this. Now,
Oh,
you
yeah.
do that. Do you know why? Every time some bullshit like this happens, my sales go up because people are wanting this.
Really?
You are nuts.
Let's wake you up.
You
to the
are
truth,
nuts.
sir.
You're not a woman. You don't look like a woman. You don't act like a woman.
Really?
You're ahead. What's wrong with you? Well, look at yourself. For Christ's sakes.
Really?
For Christ's sakes, who would want to even be close? My God.
Really?
It's horrible.
I don't know why.
You
Why
are
am
not.
I so
You
horrible
are
to
not
you?
a chick.
Why am I so horrible?
Do
to
you still have a?
You know what? That is none of your business.
Do you think there's one person that really thinks that you're a chick?
I know a lot of people that agree with me and that accept me for who
Do you
I
know-
am. And the fact that you're going to be here with a sign like that.
Nobody
Bullshit.
confronts you. That's
Yes,
the
they
problem.
do.
You make me
That's bullshit.
uncomfortable because
Really?
you're
Get the
not.
fuck away from me.
Then you get out of my store.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trans women are women.
Jesus Christ, man. Get a clue.
Trans women
Get
are women.
Get a
Trans women are women.
leave.
You.
Leave.
I'm out of your store.
Leave.
You leave.
You leave.
I'm here.
Let me ask you a question again. Do you have a?
You don't get to ask that.
I'll bet you do.
You are offended.
I don't care.
You're gonna ask.
I hope so.
Good.
Because I want to be in your face because nobody
Really?
confronts your stupid ass. You're nuts.
You need to back off now.
No, you do. So
You need
back
to
off.
Back off now. I am trying to leave and you are
Why
following
don't you
me.
leave?
I'm going to take a few more steps. Are you going to keep following me? Or are you just going to check my ass
You
out?
check. You check tonight. You got it. You're not a
Stop
chick.
staring at my ass.
I would really like them to open their eyes and their heart and see that, you know, we are people, we are who we are.
You're a guy in a dress. Get the fuck over yourself. It's like, oh wow. Well, that was wow. Oh my God. It's just that was I'm actually at a loss for words. Like that's the first time I watched that video. So Rambo Rattlesnake, are you doing? The comic shop owner is based. Oh my God, that who said it in the chat? Base boomer. That was that boomer was certainly based as hell. Oh my God. He just didn't give a shit. He just basically said everything that needed to be said. Oh wow. Says Camino, wearing a skirt and a bit of lippy does not a woman make, especially when you've got a 5 o'clock shadow like Desperate Dan and an apple, Adam's apple the size of Bruce Lee's punch bag. Oh my God, yeah. Anyway, that's man, that was based. Like that actually was really based. Wears a face nappy to protect itself from reality. Napalm draw. Oh, that wasn't a napalm. That was a nuclear bomb. That was that was awesome. Are you a bigoted? Yes, Giga Chad. Yeah, no, that was awesome. Like the fact he just didn't give a damn. He just spoke his mind out. And that whole thing with the tranny said, like, oh, you know, trans women are women. No, you're a guy in a dress. Like, okay, like you were born as a man. Even if you transition to a woman, you're still a man because you were born as a man. All right, get over yourself. I love that. I love that old dude. Honestly, check your Telegram. I did Galileo's tongue. If I hold on, because I think it was that same clip anyway you showed on Telegram. Hold on. It was the best 5 seconds from the clip. I laughed so hard at this. Could even share with my friends who crap out as well. Well done.
Do you have a dick?
You don't get to ask.
Oh, right. So, yeah, hold on. I won't share on the screen because it's the Telegram and whatnot. But it's the same clip we watched of the old guy with the tranny, but it's kind of like the uncensored version. So I'll just see if we can play it here. So I don't know if you guys can hear this. One sec.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a dick?
You don't get to ask that.
I'll bet you do. Let me.
That's based. That's absolutely based. Oh my God. Do you have a dick? It was like, you don't get to ask me that. I bet you do. Tell it like it is, lipstick on the piggy. That's true. That's really true. Oh my god, like that's such a white pilling moment because we live in a time where all these trannies are coming out of the woodwork and they're trying their best to try and normalize all this type of stuff. And here you have this boomer like just basically just calling it like it is and just doesn't give a shit. Just does not give a shit about being called a bigot or anything like that at all. He just spoke his mind out, and that's just awesome. That's really awesome to see. Let me have a look and see here. They're an insult to actually gay people. My gay friend says so. That was Mr. X. Thank you for watching. That was just spot on. That was just spot on. So, it's Jaws from James Bond, but a shit dress. I guess that's why the guy would cover his mouth with the face nappy. So there you go. I wanted to be a helicopter, but my mom grounded me. That's good. That's really good. So almost 40 likes. So that's really good to see. 40, almost 40 likes so far. That's good. Let's keep hitting that like button, folks, and hopefully we'll get there eventually. Hopefully with that. Let me see here. That was just bloody awesome. USA. That's definitely true Dragon Energy. I don't know if you would see something like that here in the UK, because if there was a guy in the UK that said something like that towards a tranny, they'd be charged with a hate crime. But when it comes to America, they can basically outright say it. Well, depending on the state, I believe, they can just outright say it. So. Yeah, of course, it would be interesting, like where exactly, which state that was in. I doubt that would be in California, because they said that the tranny worked for the City Council of Aberdeen. So, if there's any states in America that has a town or city called Aberdeen, so let me know. Take your lightsaber and GTFO of my store. And it does come off like a Monty Python sketch. It's something that you would see in Monty Python like back in the 70s. Like, it's really good. Let me just have a look and see here. Be front page news. Oh yeah, definitely. It would be front page news. Definitely all across the UK. V in the chat for base Vietnam vet. Well, you know what? I'll type a V in the chat as well, because yes, definitely do that. Type in V for based Vietnam veteran. The guy has got tons of donations since that video went viral. People from all over the world have been sending them money. Well, that's again a very white pilling thing with that, because again we live in a time where all this stuff, all this woke shit that's cramming down our throats on a daily basis, and here you have a video of an old guy. Basically just again calling it like it is and just doesn't give a damn. So like, that's a very and the fact that there's people across the world that actually supporting him for that, because you know that he would be completely like just outright like tarnish his reputation and all of that, because people calling him a bigot and so on and so forth, just because of the fact that because he just spoke his mind out. So, and you can imagine that the left would try and destroy the old guy because of him being a quote unquote bigot. So, why have they sent him money? Again, I would imagine he might be getting tons of threats from lefty types and all of that. Maybe the threatening his business and all of that. I can imagine. So maybe there's people that are trying to support him in any way, shape they can, so just so that he keeps himself up float or anything like that. So I love that the vet also called it too. I will get more money if you record me. Go the fuck backs. Oh man. No, that's a good point, English Sailor. He may have his shot burned, because again, you can imagine some lefty types like Antifa or anyone like that would try and burn down his business because he dares to have opinions that that someone like them would not like. So of course we would try and anything like that at all. So right, let me see. I'm just going to see if I can get into the next topic, because again, not entirely too sure if you guys have seen this already, but What do you think of the gay people trying to remove the T from LGBT? Oh, I didn't know they were trying to do that. Well, that's really interesting because I know it's maybe lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual or tranny, for instance. What do you think of gay people trying to remove it? That's really interesting. I mean, it kind of goes back to this idea of the left just completely eating itself. So I think that speaks major volumes that the gay community are trying to remove the T from LGBT. You know that's bad when gay people are trying to remove the T. Like, you know that's bad. Like, that speaks major volumes. Let me see. Yeah, Antifa operates in WA. What's WA in state? Is I've never been to America myself, so maybe that's like Washington or anything like that at all. Hold on, let me just check here. WA state. Oh, it's Washington. Oh, well, that's a that's a very lucky guess. Excellent. Chief Moody, did you manage to get the links? If not, well, I send them on Telegram. I still kind of see them in the chat, RW. So what to do is, if you can find me on Telegram, just send me the links there, and I'll see if I can post the links in my feed, and I'll see if I can play it then. Because again, I cannot find the links in the chat for the life of me. Sorry. Linda Hunter, hello, all right there. Hello, fellow chat, lovely chat. It's a wee hour. Thank you very much for being here, Linda. You're just in time for the last hour of the show. So let me just get right into the next article. Even if I don't get, it's not going to be the Hamza Yusuf stuff. If I don't manage to cover this tonight, I'll see if I can cover it for Sunday, because I would imagine that this case will be still ongoing when it comes to Hamza Yusuf, but I'll see if I can get to that shortly. But for now, I'll get to this topic here at the moment, mainly because of this is something that's absolutely shocking and is absolutely disgusting what this woman did. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you've all have seen this already. I don't know if you have through Telegram and whatnot, but I'll just get up to it right now before reading this quote here. Makes sense in a way, since they're trying to be their true gender. If they're in the gay spectrum, it's low key admitting they're just gays in dresses. That's a good point, actually. So, Joe Citizen, Chief believe that Lady MAGA is particularly critical of the trans agenda and the sexualization of kids. Oh, I mean, that's fair enough, but when it comes to like someone like Lady MAGA, she's not. I was going to say he's not really like a proper conservative. Like, I'm just, this isn't like a criticism of you, Joel, or anything like that. Nothing like that at all. It's just I'm getting sick and tired of, especially stuff like this going on in America, where you have all these quote unquote conservatives, but they're not really conservatives. You know, you got people like Blair White, you got Lady MAGA, you got all these people like coming out of the woodwork claiming to be conservatives and trying to maintain the conservative lifestyle or viewpoint or stances, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, they're not conservative. They're not conservative. They never will be conservative. These are people who are trying to ride on the bandwagon that is the Republican Party and also the center right, or in this case, more like civic nationalism, if you will. These people are just pure cringe. They're not proper conservatives. But I've certainly made my peace about Lady MAGA in the past. But I mean, I applaud him for speaking out against the trans agenda and sexualization of kids. I applaud that, like that he's calling out on that stuff. But again, he's not a proper conservative, and I would not welcome someone like that in the conservative movement. But again, that's just me when it comes to that. So, back again, my daughter phoned me. That's no worries, Tina. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Let me see here. Chief, when you speak your mind, man, regardless whether or not it offends others, Chief. No, that's fair enough. Thank you for that, Joe Citizen. If the T goes, then we start calling them alphabet spaghetti rechecks. Oh dear. Anyway, right. Let me get into this article just now, because I'll just showcase it right now, because I'm pretty sure you've all seen this already. But Oh, that tea's really cold now. Damn it. Oh well. Is this one here from Northwich Guardian? It reads here: "White Lives Matter sign turned into dog mess post by Norwich woman," written by Jack Heel, trainee reporter, apparently. But here we go. So well, this is going to be really interesting. This article here, especially this all happened after the Indigenous Peoples Day this past Monday. But let's have a look at this. A Norwich woman is disgusted but unsurprised by a White Lives Matter sign that she found, and has turned it into a dog mess post. Nikki Brown, I'm assuming that's a very weird way of spelling Nikki, if it's maybe Nikki, who has lived in the area all of her life, found the sign on the bridge crossing the bypass at the end of Chester Road, Hartford. It had been screwed to the metal railing, and this is a quote from her. "When I first saw the sign driving down the bypass, I was disgusted." Why would you be disgusted with the term "White Lives Matter"? But we'll get to that in just a second. But at the same time, not surprised to see something like this in Norwich. It's incredibly frustrating, but as you think we've taken steps forward in society, you see evidence like this that means something. Some of us are still taking steps back. Okay, I need to make this point real quick. What is wrong of saying White Lives Matter? There is clearly a anti-white agenda going on all across Europe and, of course, in America. I mean, just at the start of this article alone, this woman completely confirms the idea that there is definitely an anti-white agenda going on. This woman is anti-white, despite the fact her being white, but she's clearly an anti-white. I mean, we all know for sure that if this was a Black Lives Matter banner driving, not driving, I should say, but when she's driving past it under the bypass, she would be in full support of that. She would be on her knees, raising her fist in the air, and of course, and supporting Black Lives Matter. But for some reason, when it's White Lives Matter, it's apparently disgusting, apparently, which is just the double standards with these two statements are just unbelievable. Let me see. It's also frustrating to see a lack of understanding as to why White Lives Matter and All Lives Matter are offensive to people of color and the BLM movement. Bitch, you're not even a woman of color or like a non-white. You're white yourself, but of course you're part of the propaganda that is anti-whiteism. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but you know what I mean. Basically, these white people who have been learning, I'm assuming from a young age, to hate themselves and because of their race, their culture, their heritage, and so on and so forth. You know, and you should respect others, especially those who are non-white. Guarantee she was brought up in that type of environment. It's about understanding that people of color do not have the privilege and rights that white people have. Some people will strongly disagree with that, myself included. Not that white or all lives don't matter. Okay, so hold on. So you're saying that not that white or all lives don't matter. Then why then all of a sudden? Then why then earlier on in this article did you say that you were disgusted to see a banner that reads "White Lives Matter"? Like, it sounds like you're contradicting yourself to your woman, but whatever. That people of color have been treated like they don't have, and it has to stop. Right. Let's just be brutally honest here right now. I've made this point in the past before in previous episodes. I'm sure this is not an original point to be made. Well, it's not an original point because I know everyone in our circle has already stated this fact before. But let's be brutally honest here. From what we've seen, yeah, it was. I keep thinking it was 2019, but what we've seen last year with George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement rioting all across America, if I even rioting across here in the UK, and all of the stuff, you know, or we need to make amends for the Black community. We need to treat them as if like holier than thou type of people, and all this other stuff that we've seen last year. Well, not just last year, but we're currently seeing still today with this pro BLM stuff and anti White Lives Matter stuff. It does definitely showcase to me, and I'm not too sure with everyone else in the chat, but it definitely showcased to me that there's white people clearly do not have any privilege in our society. I'm very certain that a certain group of people in our society or in this case, non-whites clearly have the privilege when it comes to living in the UK, or even in America for that matter, or even any other European nation, I should say. So this idea that these quote unquote people of color have never went through any privilege, or never went through any easy, always go through like major hardships in life, but white people have always have privilege in the past. Well, I can confirm to you right now that the opposite is more accurate. White people are being treated as scum. They're being treated as the absolute worst of the worst, and all these non-whites are being treated like as if they're being treated as I say, high and mighty. Like they should never be they should be treated as above than the native people within these islands. We've seen that back last year, and we're certainly seeing that a lot more now, and it's just getting far, far worse. So the question I would like to ask this woman is, which group of society has privilege here? I'll give you a hint. It's not white people that have privilege. I'll tell you that right now. Let me see where I was at the moment. Nikki, owner of the Hartford Hounds, added that she will continue to take down signs and make them into dog mess posts if she needs to. See, there's another point I wanted to make, and again, it's not an original point to make, but could you imagine if this was the opposite? If it was a group of people or someone who disagreed with Black Lives Matter tearing down a Black Lives Matter banner and decide to make it a what would they call it? A dog mess post? It would be blasted all over the news. The person would be arrested for hate speech and be thrown in prison for a few number of years, I would imagine. So once again, going back to my question, I would like to ask this woman, which group of people in our society has a privilege here? And again, like I said before, just to give her a bit of a hint, it's not white people that have privilege. It's certainly not white people. Excuse me, just clearing my throat. Behavior like this has to be challenged by white people. But why? What is so wrong of white people getting together as a collective and saying we have a right to exist and a right to self-determination? Again, Black people are allowed to be a collective. Asian people are allowed to be a collective. Brown people are allowed to be a collective. Like any non-white group you can think of are allowed to be a collective. But as soon as white people get together and be a collective, it's like, oh no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Don't you remember what happened in World War II with the Holocaust? It's the same stuff we've been hearing over and over again. And instead of white people getting together as a collective, instead we have to be looked at as individuals. You're not allowed to be a collective, but just be individuals. That's way better than being a collective. But if you're a non-white and you get together as a collective, oh no, that's totally fine. No worries. Again, the double standards with that is just astonishing to me, of course. Let me see. I can't do anything about the atrocities that people of color have experienced in the past. However, I can do whatever I can to change things for the future. So if that includes ripping down signs and making them into dog mess posts, then that's what I'll do. Give her a sarcastic round of applause. How stunning and brave this woman is, being a complete traitor to her own race and her own to her own people. And just want to tear down a sign that says "White Lives Matter," and for what exactly? Just so that she can look at as being progressive and virtue signal in her life. Get fucked, honestly. I can't stand people like her. These clearly anti-white people who will be complete turncoats to their own people just so that they can look all progressive and try to support diversity and whatnot. But I guarantee you this, folks, right? If everyone's still watching just now, I can guarantee you, and I hope this never happens to her, by the way. I want to make this very clear right now, okay? I hope nothing like this does happen to her in the future. If there was ever a moment in her life where she gets robbed or killed or raped by a non-white, I can guarantee you her tune would change in a heartbeat. Now, that being said, again, I hope nothing like that does happen to her. If it does happen to her, her tune would change in a heartbeat. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. Let me see here. I'm a dog walker by trade, and I like creative pursuits when I'm not working. So pretty much 95% of my thoughts when I come across material are what can I do for the dogs? Can the dogs get involved in this? Can this be used by the dogs? And then I thought about the level of effort that went into making that sign. Nikki34, who grew up in the Hartford, continued. So wait a minute, is this supposed to be her saying like, "Oh, it's not really that much of a job to make it"? But like, fuck you, mate. Like, I would imagine like it would take a lot of work for someone not only just making the sign, but having the balls to actually go out and post that sign out there, knowing that there's a high chance that they might get some form of some blowback from like lefty types. Again, it's commendable for someone to do that. And then here comes this bin who wants to completely tear that down. Again, just for the sake of being progressive and whatnot. It's just absolutely shameful. Shameful behavior by this anti-white. Let me see. It wasn't just an old pillowcase that someone had used a spray can on like it was just some there. It was well put together, painted and mounted using tools. That's a lot of hate to put into something. Oh, fuck off, mate. You know, you wonder who the hateful one here is. It's not the people who made the sign. It's someone like you who decided to tear down the sign and use it as like a fucking like dog shit post. Just again, my apologies for repeating myself here, but all of this, this stunning and brave moment, just so you can make yourself look progressive. Get fucked, you pretentious fucking douchebag. Unbelievable. Again, my apologies for the swearing, but honestly, folks, stuff like this, it just angers me, and I'm sure it may anger you as well, especially that this all happened after the whole Indigenous Peoples Day. This whole article right here, what this woman did was a big fuck you to not only her own people, but to basically a big fuck you to Indigenous Peoples Day as a way of trying to support non-whites. Like, get fucked. Honestly, unfucking believable. It was well put together. Oh yeah, something. So then I thought, if I were that person, what would annoy me the most? And then the idea just popped into my head. Well, again, yeah, great idea. Yeah, it just came into your head like that. I'm pretty sure there's comments here. So comments are rules and whatever. So of course I can't exactly see the comments themselves, but what I have seen of the comments are actually pretty white pilling. Let me see here. Yeah, no worries, Moody. Channel our anger, mate. It's just put another one back up and make it two times bigger. No, that's definitely true. Hound of Ulster. That's a good idea. Just a way of saying, well, if you're gonna do this our sign, we'll do a big fuck you in return. Here's a sign that's like 2 times bigger. What do you think about that? This lady reminds me of the people in Haiti that assisted the slaves in their revolt and ended up getting crucified because the blacks thought it was fair. Yeah, exactly that. It goes back to the point I made earlier on. And as I said, I really hope this doesn't happen to her in the future. As much as a hateful thing she has done, I really hope this doesn't happen to her in the future. If this does happen to her, don't be surprised, because she's one of those progressive lefty types who wants to speak for the non-whites and all of that. But again, if something were to happen to her, like she was abused, robbed, raped, or murdered by a non-white, or like killed by a non-white, her tune would change in a heartbeat. But again, maybe not the murder part, because she'd be fucking dead. But again, hopefully that never happens to her. But if something like that were to happen to her, in reality, then her tune would change in a heartbeat. So. Just childish and nasty. It is, yeah, it really is. And again, I mean, it goes back to this idea of, well, what exactly is wrong of saying white lives matter? Because, like I said, there's clearly an anti-white agenda going on. There's been multiple people who are white who live in this country who have been killed by multiculturalism, but for some odd reason, it's like, oh well, you see that's offensive to black people everywhere. Shut up! Honestly, let me ask you. See if I actually met this woman in person. I would love to ask her this one question. So, let me get this straight, right? You would rather support someone like George Floyd, a guy who was a criminal degenerate, who did all kinds of things like being in pornography and held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. So you would rather support someone like that than support someone like we talked about earlier on, like Chris Donald, who was actually killed by actual racism, who was actually killed by non-whites, and they killed him because he was in fact white. Like, you're also going to tell me you're going to support someone like George Floyd because it's a popular thing to do? Like, fuck you, you fucking anti-white scumbag. And again, one last point to make about that, by the way, one last point to make. Someone like her and someone who would be a lot like her, these would be the same exact people who will think to themselves, I wonder why groups like Patriotic Alternative or if you're in America, the National Justice Party, or any of these groups popping out and coming out of the work world in our society, these are the same groups of people who are wondering, I wonder why these people or these groups are on the rise. It's because people are just sick and fucking tired of the anti-white bullshit. That's why you see groups like Patriotic Alternative are growing, that's why you're seeing the National Justice Party are growing. All of these groups we're seeing left, right, and center, they're growing because people are just sick and tired of the anti-white agenda. Which is why, as I want to add, you should support groups like Patriotic Alternative, or if you're in America, you should support the National Justice Party, because these are groups that are sick and tired of the agenda going on, and they really do want to make a difference. So if you really want to see that difference, it is your opportunity to look into these groups and join them, honestly. Let me see here. Jogger fatigue. Oh, yeah, RW. Let me see if I can find that Telegram post. Hold on. 1 second here. Right, let me see here. I wonder if I can find that video. And actually, it'd be something that we can actually talk about as like a that maybe ties into what we talked about within the article. Let me see here. Posted them on the YouTube post in your Telegram group chat. Right, let me see if I can find that just now. RW, let me see. Oh, yes, right, perfect. Okay. Excellent. RW, thank you very much for doing that. Let me see if I can get them up here. Right. Oh, no, it would be, let me see here. Sorry, folks, just real quick. I'll see if I can play these videos because, again, I think they'd be beneficial to play them as, like, ties into what we're talking about just now. Both, sorry, excuse me, with Chris Donald and also the woman we just talked about in that article. Let me see here. So it reads, well, no, this is the link for the video itself. Hold on 1 second. If I can, right, perfect.
For so long I begged this.
Right, okay. Just want to make sure if nothing bad happens or anything like that at all. No, it's fine. Okay, just want to make sure because again, like, I don't want to pose or anything like that. Maybe like too controversial or anything like that at all. Well, not that I'm against it or anything like that. I just want to make sure there's nothing like any violence or anything like that happens. But just had a quick look and see, and it looks like it should be fine. So this is a video that RW shared. Not shared in the chat, but let me know earlier on in the stream about this video. So this was in Glasgow, as they said, and let me see if I can play that here just now. So just have a watch of this, and then we'll comment afterwards because it's about 2 minutes and 5 seconds long. So now it is in landscape. Hopefully you guys can bear with that. But we'll just play the video. So let's have a look.
For so long I begged this man to leave me alone, when I was alone in town trying to get a taxi home.
What does that mean?
Sex.
What about sex?
Sex, my
What's
you
who?
girl, I boy.
Just ghettos. I like ghettos.
Oh,
Yeah.
you lesbian?
Yes, so just ghettos.
Oh.
Yeah.
You please try again one time.
Sorry?
You try again one time.
Try again what?
One time.
Try what?
Try again one time.
Yeah.
Sex.
What do you mean?
You try again one time. Sex.
Sex with who? What do you mean?
You lesbian.
Yes. I like girls women.
No boy sex.
Yeah, not boy sex, no.
I already panic
No.
and struggle to tell someone off from
No.
past experiences,
Very beautiful.
so I found it really hard to get rid of it.
No, no, leave me alone.
Please, please, one
Just leave
time.
me alone. I don't like boys, no. I don't like boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so beautiful.
Thank you. Can you leave me alone now, please? I don't like boys. I don't like men.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't like men.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so leave me alone now. On you go. Go home or something. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Sorry.
Just, you can go home. Just leave me alone now. I don't want to have sex. On you go.
Okay.
Okay. So why are you just standing here? Why are you just standing here? I said I didn't want to have sex, so go. Go. I like girls. I
You
don't.
boy sex no.
No, no boy sex. So
Okay.
please leave me alone now because you're making me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
bye.
sorry.
Okay, bye.
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 You.
Go away. Hi, can you? I asked you to leave me alone. I've actually asked you to leave me alone. I've asked you multiple times. You're making me uncomfortable. Leave me alone and go.
Well, there you go. That's yeah. That's multiculturalism in a nutshell, folks. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. No worries. Apologies for the confusion. No, that's totally fine. RW. Thank you very much for showing the case in that video. So yeah, that's a prime example of multiculturalism clearly does not work. You saw in that video, the lassie in the video was clearly uncomfortable. The fucking scumbag will not leave her alone, and yet he had the audacity to come back for the second time. Well, 2 times. One time was by himself, and then another time was like, I'm assuming like a group of friends or whatever. Unfucking believable. And these are the same groups of people that our governments want us to be in line with, like as if like diversity is our greatest strength. Fuck you. I can't stand this shit any longer. You know, these fucking animals that come into this country who are killing our people, murdering our people, raping our people, and yet our fucking government just sweep it under the rug as if it's no big deal. Well, oh no, like we can't talk about stuff like that. Well, you have to respect them. It's part of their culture. How about fuck you and go back to where you fucking came from? Again, folks, I'm sorry for my language and all that. I know I've said in the past before that I was going to try and swear less, but I'm sorry. Stuff like this, it fucking angers me. It really fucking does. Just seeing all this kind of stuff, like this push of multiculturalism, just beating us over the head with that, and we're supposed to take it and just accept it as it is. And yeah, swear away, Moody. You're channeling our anger. It's okay. Like, it's just no, fuck being polite. That time has well and truly passed. Yeah, just unfucking believable. Oh, another familiar face. Hi, Chief Medium folks. John, thank you very much for... Hello, John. Thank you very much for being here. As you can tell, John, I'm not particularly happy. We've just gone through a couple of articles and watched a video that's clearly a clear-cut example of why both multiculturalism does not work in any way, shape, or form, and why there's clearly an anti-white agenda going on just now. It's just... I'm sick and tired of it. It really is. Raping is part of their religion and culture, subhuman scum. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that, to be honest with it. That was bloody sickening. Yeah, I mean, you could tell just how uncomfortable the woman, was being in that video, but the guy just refused to not leave her alone. Like, obviously, no means no. If she told you the first time she's not interested, that would be a point where, all right, okay, my apologies, and I'll just go on my merry way. You can tell that he was clearly up to no good, and he really wanted to do something to that lassie. hopefully the lassie is okay, and hopefully this may be like a wake up call to her that maybe having people like that in our country is probably not like the best idea ever. To be quite honest, so. If they try to remove the T, it must be because trans women are women. Yeah, that's fair enough. Getting mad and raging solves nothing. Take a grip and think about how you're going to stop this going on. Yeah, that's fair enough, Timmy. That's fair enough. That's definitely fair. The only thing I can really say in terms of what we can do is really just not just like content creating like this, but more importantly, actually getting the word out there. Basically, hiking with banner drops, leafleting, talking to people about our side of things when it comes to politics. Overall, just getting the word out there. As Timmy made a good point, getting mad and raging solves nothing. So, I mean, because it's a very easy to do that, like getting mad over something like this. But what are you going to do about it? That's the most important thing. So definitely that. Let me just have a look and see updates with the chat. Let me see here. Chief, really have your say in your own way. No worries, John. I do appreciate that. So, let me see. Oh, hold on. I spent 4+ hours on the phone with a lady today. I took her down the path to full JQ. Oh, that's really good. That's really good of you to do that, Timmy. That's really that. Of course, it'd be a very red pilling thing to do that. So it's really good for you to do that, Timmy. See, that's stuff I'm talking about. Just talking to people about stuff that we believe in is definitely going to. The more we talk about it to people, it's definitely like it's going to be a wake up call for a lot of people to hear and see. Of course. From Doxkin, I hate to be a downer, but individually you can't stop it. This is why individualism fails. Make friends, help your community. Exactly. Which is why it's important that community and also collectivism is the way moving forward regarding to our countries. Is one of the ways it's going to help save the West at this point, because when it comes to individualism, yeah, it doesn't work on any way, shape, or form. But it's probably one of the reasons why we're in this mess to begin with, because us white people are looked at as individuals, and we treat everyone all the bloody same, despite the fact nobody's the same. Everyone's not born equally. Everyone's different. All the races are clearly different. From English Rose, on a civilized, safe society, a lady should be feminine and graceful, but in our current situation, we are not protected by our institutions. Being feminine is now a curse sometimes. I could definitely see that, English Rose, especially now that in our society we have not all young women, but most of young women decided not do any more, not being feminine and not actually going out proper dates, but instead they'll open up like an OnlyFans account, and they're being told that if you open an OnlyFans account, that's like a very empowering thing to do. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. All this type of degeneracy that's being pushed down our throats. It's about time we actually do something about it. Actually take a stand and say something about it, because at this point, if we don't do anything about it now, it's going to get even worse in the future, and eventually we're all going to be gone unless we do something about it. Of course, not just making live stream stuff like this or anything like that at all, but actually getting the word out there, building and actually forming a community, being there for one another, talking about the stuff with like people people you don't know. Again, just getting the word out there. Just honestly, just getting the word out there. That's what's most important with this. And I think something like Indigenous Peoples Day was a clear example of that, where again a group of people, community, or anything like that, getting together and say, we believe white lives matter. We believe that white people have a right to exist and a right to self-determination. Indigenous Peoples Day is a prime example of the word getting out there when it comes to the slogan. Well, I don't know if you want to call it a slogan, but the term "white lives matter," it's definitely important to do that, of course. Let me see. Not to mention that a lot of Muslims are very homophobic. Yeah, so I've been watching Claudius, let all the poisons that lurk in the mud hatch out. I'm kind of going that way myself. Let's see here. But why would they want immigration into their own country? They don't. Oh, so yeah. Well, it's that whole argument of they talk about westernized countries being like full of like white supremacy and it's so hateful towards the non-whites, but they still should come to these islands because it's beneficial for them, and we need to help them out. But we're also a white supremacy country, you know, and full of hate and whatnot. You know, again, it's stuff like that you hear all the time from lefty types and the left, like the blatant contradictions and the blatant double standards with these people. Again, it's just unbelievable. Everyone in this chat, if you can, learn self-defense of some description, especially if you are a female. The police won't help you. Give yourself the best possible chance of surviving. Now, I definitely do agree with that, RW. That's actually a great piece of advice for anyone in the chat, because it will come a point where the way things are going, you'll get something horrible happen to you at some point. So it's a good idea to actually get yourself in self-defense classes or anything like that, especially if you're a woman. Again, not want to come off as sexist or anything like that, but with the way things are going, especially with that video we just watched, I guarantee it's going to get even worse. So it'd be beneficial for you guys to actually learn some self-defense classes. In fact, I'm actually thinking about taking up some classes myself, because again, all the stuff that I'm doing with my channel and also with PA, more particularly PA Scotland and all of that, it would be very, very ideal to learn some self-defense, because the stuff we're doing is very risky at the moment with today's political climate. So if you don't learn any self-defense, then the people who are against us, they will tower over you. So unless you do something about it, of course. Now then, folks, that's just approaching 8 o'clock at the moment. I can't believe it's actually that time already. I guess, Karate Brown, but well, there you go with the stand one. Thank you. Chief, when you do it, mate, it will change your life. Yeah, because of that, I'll definitely do that. Learn basic self-defense after a jogger tried to drag me into a car 20 years ago. Oh, Jesus. Well, hopefully you were okay after that, Amanda. It's good that you did take some classes after that, because yeah, it definitely would be beneficial. As RW said, like, definitely do stuff like that, because it will definitely change your life with that. So yeah, RW, I will take your advice. I will see if I can find any self-defense classes and take them up as well, and also see if I can find a gym or some type of equipment to buy for, you know, losing weight and all of that. So Rotherham and Colony, I hope I pronounced that right. Red pilled me on the JQ. Yeah, exactly. I do Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu training twice a week. If you can, move out of the cities, grow your own food, build up a community, and get a big dog. Yeah, that's definitely true. Lastly, RW, learn karate. There's 2 moves I know that of that will actually kill your attacker. It's an amazing martial art, and you treat it with utter respect. And lastly, from RW, join a fighting gym. Yeah, there we go. I'll definitely see if I can check that out and see if I can find one in my area. So excellent. Or even I speak to people from PA Scotland, who I know are very fitness fanatics and all of that. So anyway, folks, that's going to come to a close tonight. That's actually just 1 minute to go till it's 8 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. So, but there you go. So I'm just going to see if I can get up to YouTube just now, see if we can play like an outro song for the stream, and then see from there. So I hope people enjoyed tonight's episode. I know that there was the times where of me completely spurting out in the stream because of what we talked about, but you can't really help it, because this stuff is going on all the time. But as Timmy Bobinson said in the chat, yeah, look, it's easy to get angry over this stuff, but again, getting angry over this stuff is not going to solve anything. You need to do something about this and actually do something to actually make a change, which is very true, of course. I really think that some people are a waste of time and space, irredeemably soulless and psychopathic, and are an existential threat to the rest of us. Like dangerous dogs, they should be exterminated. Fair enough. And last week, John Davidson, I've got a heavy whaling cane. Well, that's good as like a self-defense weapon, John. To have. That's really good to have. Yes, channel the anger into something productive. No, that's definitely true, RW. That's definitely true. Even if you do not have a plan, getting angry is wasted energy. That's very true, Timmy. Very true. My apologies when it comes to that. You know, I do try my best to keep it in, but you know, you do what you can, of course. So if you're not angry, you don't care, get angry. Well, of course. Great stream, Chief Moody. Thanks, brother. Never waste energy. Well, there you go. Never waste energy with that. So perfect. Again, I want to thank you all very much for watching tonight's episode. I will be back this Sunday with episode 21 from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. GMT or British time, of course. And there you go. I'll post like a link or a Telegram post about this again, just to keep you guys reminded or anything like that. So, but until this coming Sunday, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's episode. I'm just going to see if I can find an outro song for the episode, and I'll see you guys on Sunday at 6 p.m. Let me see here. Let me see what to play. Let me have a look here. Don't think I played this one yet, actually. Yeah, I'll just go share the screen as well. One sec. Banners. So there we go. That's the one. Still sharing? Yeah, it is. Right, perfect. Okay. If I put in full screen with that. Excellent. Right, okay, so I'm just going to play the song, the outro song for the episode. Again, thank you all very much for watching. This is Chief Moody signing out. You've been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I will see you on Sunday at 6 p.m. Until then, take care, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, and good night.
Yes, we want to be free, live our lives as they should be. Here's the thing, well, that's nice. Every action has a price. We're meant to be much more than this, and find a home which we all miss. So it's time to grow up as we're ticking down the clock. Forever keep in mind, we're fighting for our kind, to learn from those before, our future made secure. We were meant to survive, to transcend, go forth and thrive, find the light, leave behind all the things that made us blind. It's up to us to show the way, to hold the torch, come what may. We will do all we can till time's not running through our hands. Forever keep in mind, we're fighting for our kind. our future made secure.